let's talk about Premier League football. This time around, it's all about the issue of taking a knee. That stance that has been since we witnessed the pandemic era of COVID-19, and it lingered all through the football season that passed, that went on just a few months back. Now, Premier League captains are set to meet to discuss if they should continue with that stance. That those who think that taking a stance for racism or other social ills in terms of taking a knee before the game is seemingly outdated and has outlived its importance. What's your thought regarding this?
Well, if you remember, let me take you back to when the issue of taking a knee started.
Yes.
With that gesture, racism has not abated.
Exactly.
No wonder Wilfred Zaha said he will never be part of it.
He's right there on your screen, Wilfred Zaha.
You understand? Because the taking a knee rather,
yes,
before every match in the EPL, has it helped racism? It has not. It hasn't.
Okay.
So I don't see why that should continue. If you ask me, any
okay.
other analyst can say it's better, but I don't see that. What we need is serious campaign against racism in football.
Okay.
Racism in football, it should not be acceptable to any FA or any association
at all.
So knee taking, to me, I don't take it seriously.
Okay.
We are just looking at it as a normal ritual that people will come, take a knee before the game starts, and at the end of the day, you go into the stand to see racism taking place. People, abusing players, throwing bananas. Yet you just leave the knee taking thing. So to me, I don't.
Okay,
it should be taken off.
Okay, the players would still consult with their teammates before coming about, a decision. But if they decide to scrap, that pre-game ritual, what other ways can the players, be on board in terms of addressing racism and trying to play curb it in terms of playing their part? Remember, the Premier League came up with different rules. Pardon?
Can you come again?
Okay, I said if the players, the captains will have to go back to their teammates, discuss about it, and then based on the decision of the majority of their teammates, they'll go to votes. But I'm saying if the captains decide to do away with that pre-game ritual, the question will be what other ways can the players make their voices heard in terms of curbing racism? Because the Premier League alone can't do this. The players also have to be involved one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. This might be local.
Okay.
It might be local. This is what I want to say.
Okay.
Captains, where they are the leaders of teams, and when they come together, suggestions of this nature can be made to FA. The stadiums where Premiership games take place, they all have public address system.
Okay.
Announcement should go before the game starts.
Okay.
Do you understand? Announcement should go before the game. Disabuse people's minds about racism. Disabuse them using public address system. Before, during, and after
the matches. Okay.
My own suggestion.
Okay, let's see how that pans out.
It's not good for football. It's not good for sports development.
It is.
In any way.
It isn't. It must be said. And it's not only racism. You have homophobic slurs. You have Islamophobia. So many forms of abuses. Let's just hope that the fans understand that we are one people and it's just one game that unites us. Talking about the beautiful sport of football. Well, let's still talk about Premier League football, and it's about the rules now. Ahead of the new season, the season starts on Friday. There's Crystal Palace against Arsenal. That'll be interesting at Selhurst Park, by the way. But let's talk about the rules ahead of the game. The Premier League came up with new rules just to address certain issues. You have the concussion rule, for example. The issue of, the trials are still on. There's still the place of temporary substitution, and there are now calls that, that should, the issue of permanent substitution rather, there are calls that should be made, temporary substitutions as well. What do you make of the concussion rule? Let's start from there.
substitution rule, of course, you agree with me that it was tested during the COVID
exactly.
period.
Yes.
It was tested, and we also saw the efficacy.
Okay.
In the 5-player substitution.
Yes.
After you must have exhausted your 3 and another 2 added to it, and we saw the potency it brought. But of course, it is only in England that you have that happen. Every other league in Europe, even the Champions League, you still have the ample opportunity to substitute up to 5 players. But now the Premiership, the IFAB, they have come to understand that yes, indeed, we should try and modify, these rules to accommodate for more players. Because if you go back, Guardiola has been, a forerunner of it. Has been shouting that, this thing should be applied. This thing should be applied. Once you have a player that is not, that has concussion, you understand, and you have exhausted your substitution, what happens? The team might have a disadvantage by having to continue with that number of players or reduced number. But thankfully enough, his cry and that of Jurgen Klopp, has been heard. And today, the IFAB has, made a change to that.
Okay. There's also the multi-ball system, which has been introduced to the Premier League. And just to educate the viewers, what that means is if the official match ball is out of play, another ball can be used to restart the game. Again, it's just to cut down on time wasting, which, according to reports, is about 55 minutes from what was studied over the course of last year's or last season's Premier League. Do you buy into that idea of multiple balls being used? I mean, if the official match ball is out of play, another one can be brought in as quickly as possible to restart play?
Yes, I really like the introduction of the multi-ball system. One is, like you said, is going to cut time wasting by teams who are leading, and the other hand looking forward to maybe leveling up and all of that. Teams are used to that. They have ball, they keep it their ball boy, they keep it, or the fans throw it to themselves and all of that. All of these generate or amounts to time wasting. But when you have multi-ball, the moment one leaves the field, another one comes in another direction, and game continues.
Yes.
Do you understand? So no time wasting. Anybody can, anything can happen at that time. Anybody can level up. Anybody can, get, reduced and whatever. Score can increase. Score can be leveled up by opposing team and all of that. So I really like the fact that the introduction of multi-balls is coming in.
Okay.
To me, I like it on one basis that is going to, cause
time wasting.
Another thing that I do not like, in players exhibiting, once they are leaving, maybe they go on.
It's part of game management.
You agree with me that it's come up with our North African neighbors.
Yes.
When they are leading, they start falling
off. It's called game management.
Pretending and all that. So something should be done. Something should be done about that. But I know with time they will get it.
They will address it. Okay. Another rule that was implemented or brought into the rules by the Premier League is that assistant referees can only delay raising their flags for an offside goal when there's a clear-cut chance of, a goal being scored. Well, all of these rules, I'm sure, as the season commences on Friday night, you'll get familiar with it, talking about Premier League and its new rules.